Hello, denizens of the internet. Your former network executive reaction to a new movie based on the Tetris game rights saga is now playing on Apple+. Apple TV+. Yes, before I get to these spoilers, I have to say that this is a well-crafted, perfect for streaming movie. Okay, what the hell does that mean? What I mean is that it's a great diversion that's well worth your time if you're into the subject matter. It's not cinematic. It's a nice, compact experience that perhaps amps up geopolitical tensions a bit too much, but that was only one of its charms. With so much stuff out there, I'm becoming more and more cautious about my time. If you compare this to the much higher budget and extravagant streamer Red Notice on Netflix, Tetris is not a waste of your time. Bottom line, if you love Tetris, the video game industry, or you play video games, people talking in Russian accents, a Gorbachev groupie, then you will love this movie. It's kind of an addendum to Netflix's High Score, a series about the early video game industry, which I highly recommend. Both include video game music and sound effects, and I found that very comforting. Apple TV Plus's Tetris is a movie by Imagine Entertainment that dramatizes the real-life struggles to get the game Tetris out of the Soviet Union and into the greedy, money-loving hands of the West. It stars Teron Egerton as our hero, Hank Rogers, Nikita Efremov as the game's inventor, Alexei Pajitnov, Toby Jones as the snake-bit initial discoverer of the game, Robert Stein, Roger Allam, who chews up the scenery as the wonderfully pompous media mogul Robert Maxwell, and many others who are absolutely marvelous and for whom the script does a fantastic job of making each of their moments worth their screen time. Special mention to Sofia Lebedeva as Hank's translator, who turns out to be a KGB agent, and Ayana Negabuchi playing Hank's wife. If this show does not rocket both of these women to further big-ticket productions, I will be shocked. What's really great about this story is that it does so many things right. First of all, you have a main character who is dogged in his pursuit of his goal. Right. There aren't any weepy moments where he reveals his inner feelings and doubts. Of course, there is the third act turn where it looks like he will lose everything, not just the license, but his house and the trust of his wife and his daughter. And there are so many parties pursuing the Tetris Ark of the Covenant. There's Robert Maxwell and his worthless son. They're a hoot. They need the game to shore up the massive pension fund fraud that will bring Maxwell's empire crashing down. There is Nintendo, who need it for their brand new Game Boy handheld gaming system. There is poor Robert Stein, who just wants to make a buck out of his initial efforts. I have to say, I felt sorry for him. There's Valentin Trifonov, the Soviet government apparatchik, played by Igor Grabuzov, who sees the old Soviet Union crumbling under glasnost and wants to make a buck for himself and provides the real threatening bad guy. Never before has a fax machine played such an important role bridging the West and the Iron Curtain. Perhaps the most important character in this movie is the Soviet Union itself. It presents an almost impenetrable foe for Hank as he tries to deal with the KGB's constant surveillance, the rules of the Communist Party, the bureaucracy of Soviet-era companies, its institutionalized hatred of the West and the evils of capitalism, the brutality of crossing the Communist Party, its ability to reach into the West and threaten Hank's wife, and all this for a video game. I loved how Henk was constantly being threatened to leave, but refused to do so. That's how you write a lead character. The show does a great job of providing really well-done CGI replacements for monolithic Soviet office buildings and backgrounds, and the oppressive drabness was marvelous. The show was apparently shot in Quebec based on the credits, so not so sure how much CGI was necessary. Je place en Quebec. Of course, I loved seeing the Iron Curtain cars like the Ladas and Škodas. In fact, I was howling at the end as there was a thrilling car chase featuring the 1.6-liter 75-horsepower Lada careening through the streets of Moscow on the way to the airport. Where was the Politia? I have no idea, but the drama of watching Alexei throwing down each shift as the 4-cylinder engine screamed while listening to Holding Out for a Hero was joyous. This era seems to have become very popular, as we have also seen it in the Queen's Gambit and the fantastic German thriller Cleo. And so between all the parties involved and the ever-changing contracts and letters of intent, the 80s Euro soundtrack interspersed with Nintendo sound effects, there is so much to enjoy in this movie, especially the performances of the entire cast, and especially the unknown in North America professionals who clearly know their craft. I give it a 4 out of 5. Till next time, denizens. Do svidaniya.